Okay, so we're going to jump into the junk without an intro. We'll come back and think about the intro audio later. Okay, so first up I have various lids. This T lid has some nice little indents around the outside. I would usually use this to represent some sort of metal, maybe even metal on top of a concrete structure, like a bunker or something like that. I sliced this bit off the top of a spray bottle. I just thought it had a lot of cool detail. Yeah, that's right, I'm saying detail. I like the stepped down different sizes and these little notches, which could be even cut out to be viewports on like a vehicle or something. It's kind of cool. Spray bottle lid. Basically, this is just a rounded piece of plastic, so it could be used to form some sort of armor or a more alien structure. And I haven't taken it apart yet, but inside of here, there's going to be a lot of interesting components. Yeah. Okay, you know what? We'll just try that one later. Here's another one. Same situation. Interesting outer shell, and then a lot of interesting little mechanical components inside. Here's a frozen juice lid. These actually just make a really good base when you're making a miniature, something like a medium-sized vehicle, or in D&D, this would probably be a giant-sized creature. Huge, maybe 15 by 15 feet. Anyway, nice, solid. I used one of these actually on my Cyber Demon build, and actually way back in the day on that Tyranid model that I showed on the community page. So, good base, good reliable thing to have. Here's a mustard lid. I think the most interesting part is this little top section. I think that would make a good little turret on maybe like a grot tank, kind of a cute little turret. There's an alternate version of the, really cool bit that everyone seems to have and use. This one has like grip around the outside and a slightly different middle. I'm sure that'll see some use as a, propeller or engine. Interestingly enough, we're not sponsored. Interestingly enough, this pop lid has kind of a cool, unique detail. It's got these little triple lined details. This could be a pretty good like pillar topper if it was made of stone, but it could also be some sort of metal or mechanical piece. This lid is cool because it's the shape of a standard grimdark plasma rifle or plasma cannon, either top size or like a wide double-barreled one. So that might see some use in a vehicle project. I got these little bottles. They just have a kind of neat shape. They're like a squared off oval. I think they could actually make kind of good pillars, perhaps. You might wonder why I have pens. Pretty much pens are like a more durable straw. So if you want to add some round detail to something and you don't want to have it be all squishy and fragile, you could just use a pen. Also, there is a sort of, slightly detailed end that could be an exhaust pipe, a gun barrel, various potential uses for that. Mostly just good to make durable pipes. This is cool, this highlighter pen. It's got some neat fins in there. Same sort of thing. It could be a larger pipe, but it could also be a cool sort of exhaust piece. And then this little this little octagonal plug, which comes out, has like neat little details on the inside. So that's pretty cool. It always pays off to pull stuff apart before you throw it away. You never know what kind of treasures you might find inside. Okay, over to these various hangers and closure things and basically clothing garbage. These more complicated hangers are cool because this bar here, for example, could be cut to be sort of an in-scaled I-beam. I don't know how to get it to focus. It's such a weird angle. Anyway, it's got this channel along it, so it could be sliced and made into an I-beam. These rounded pieces I think would make a pretty good doorway. There's also these little reinforcement braces in the construction of this thing. So even all of this could be representing some sort of metal beam or support structure. The curved parts, possibly a pair of them could be used to make some sort of Gothic window. And I'll do sort of an example. You know, something like that, or something like that. Actually, that kind of reminds me of like a Viking type house, or like a building from Edoras in the mighty horse nation of Rohan. These, which I'm sure are very often thrown away, I actually think these would make quite a good little torch. It's kind of a fine little piece, but I think it could definitely have an application in sort of the Gothic grimdark, or even like a D&D kind of dungeon or a cathedral setting. These type of packaging pieces are just good to get some, you know, slightly interesting pieces of plastic out of, just for making various panels and that sort of thing. Okay, on to some stuff that I found. Don't know what this is, some sort of junction box looking thing, but it's pretty much ready to go sci-fi terrain. These parts are made of some sort of like rubber, but that could be sliced away. Just a cool little box. Not sure what it is, but it's got some interesting detail on there. More found plastic chunks. When I have these type of things with, they're asymmetrical and they don't have like a pair or anything like that, they're most often applied as greebling or as detailing in like the metal structure of an orc piece of terrain, just because orcs don't care, and you know, just random chunks of metal. That's pretty much how you make orc terrain. This chunk of plastic, I think, looks a lot like a casket or a sarcophagus. So I think I'll have to make something with that. Maybe a little bit of a vampire's lair. Just in time for a Halloween game, perhaps. Got these bolts. They're pretty much going to be used to add a little bit of weight to light terrain that's made out of like cardboard or foam, especially something like a pillar that can be kind of top heavy. You just slap one of these underneath and that gives it a little bit of ballast, if that's the right word, I don't know. These flanged washers, good to make wheel rims or something. Jumbo bolt, I don't know what I'll use it for, but it is cool. I mean, this could actually be, I suppose, a plasma coil. Start to incorporate it with some of these other things. Could be kind of cool for that. Also a really heavy piece, so could add some weight to something. Although you wouldn't want to add too much weight, so. They tell me this is from an automobile. This cool hex nut that has grooves. Yep, pretty cool. This actually looks like the top of a castle, like a miniature turret. But it would be a good like brazier with a big flame in it. Or, yeah, this could be a lot of cool things. I wish I had a pair of them. Then I would be make a really awesome like shoulder joint or something in a mech. Anyway, cool piece. Not very interesting, but I just thought it was funny that there's more of this orc metal paneling out in the world. I think this is like the extra cut off of like a wrought iron fence. Someone got angry at their hose and sliced the end off, and now it's mine. Same situation here, got the octagonal metal piece. Probably would just make a good pillar base. It could be used in a mech, but again, because there's only one, it's hard to use it as like a shoulder or hip joint. It's always best to have a pair of something. Wooden clothes peg, not a very common thing to find or use in crafting, but it's a symmetrical set of something, which is what I like to see. So let's open it up. Something, do I even know how to do this? Come on. Ta-da! Symmetrical set. This could be a nice way to add like a little bit of detail. Oh, yes. Yeah, you could add a nice little bit of detail around a doorway with this. These could also be some sort of support structures if they were painted up as metal, like bracing on a concrete bunker or other structure. Yes, very cool. They could even be like along the back of a vehicle. Good piece, and probably fairly abundant, fairly readily available. In the world of spring clamp things, I had this clamp I got from the dollar store, but it broke. So now I have these two pieces, which is still kind of cool. It's got this dreadnought toe looking foot capability. So these could be toes on some sort of small walker. Or the pads could be, I mean, it could be sort of rebuilt into a sort of a grabber claw, but I don't really like doing that. I'd rather use it as a robotic foot. It could also be like some sort of bracing, like a mechanical attachment for something. And it's got clean enough lines that it could be used for something imperial, although this bottom piece and these little serrations mean that it could be used for orcs too. So don't despair, there'll definitely be lots of orc stuff. Here's something I actually purchased. It's Halloween at Dollarama, so I got these plastic animal skeletons for like $1. I don't know, they're cool. Probably use them to make some sort of interesting D&D boss fight terrain. You know, you can make like a snake mountain. That's like a big Frankie reference. You can make like a snake mountain. This jaw piece comes off, and it could actually be used in a custom creature as the top jaw. It kind of strikes me as something from a Tyranid, maybe. You can see, maybe, I'll have to get more. I gotta go back and buy more. And I got this unicorn that I already broke. It's got this jaw here. Yeah, not sure what I'll use it for yet, but interesting spine piece. The skull could be, if you slide the jaw forward a little bit, cut the horn off, and Dremlin a new set of eyes right there, it could be a really cool dragon skull. So I just picked them up because they were cheap, and as you can see, there's really not much going on in the world of bits acquisition. No garage sales, thrift stores. Actually, now that I think of it, thrift stores are probably open. I should go look at them for September. Okay, build. I think I want to make something using this sarcophagus piece, right? It's kind of neato. We'll do like a little vampire tomb thing. So let's set up the mat. This speed build is brought to you by my supporters on Patreon. If you are interested in supporting the channel, you can do so through Patreon. By supporting there, you'll be contributing to the quality and frequency of future videos. You will also have access to behind-the-scenes content and to our Discord. I begin by breaking down a few of the plastic clothes hangers. I'm just looking for interesting curves and angles. These are easily made into a row of rounded topped windows. I bend the plastic by hand and then lock in the shape by sandwiching it between two pieces of cardboard. I add in a few other support details using cardboard and cardstock scraps. Then it all gets sealed and gap filled with spackle. Big surprise. I cut out portions of these bottles. I hope to use a stone texture to make them look like old, worn, or damaged rock pillars. I make this little torch with a simple blob of hot glue. The coffin gets a simple little lid made from cardstock. After priming, I mix up a custom texture paste using black paint, Mod Podge, baking soda, and sand. I apply this all over, especially focusing on the cracked and damaged areas. After this, I use white spray paint to add a zenithal highlight. Then I use a variety of colored washes to build up the depth of color in the stone. I apply a very dark wash to unify all the colors. Then I dry brush a light tan just to bring out the final edge detail. Some dark silver for the torches, and then the flames in a reddish orange. And there it is. Just in time for a creepy Halloween one-shot, or maybe just a regular game with vampires? The pieces are all separate, so they will be easy to place around a battle mat in a variety of configurations. Please share this video and leave me a comment to let me know what you thought of the build, or what item is the most interesting in this month's haul. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. There are more videos coming, and of course, more junk analysis next month. Don't forget to ring the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. There's a sad dog in the distance. My audio equipment is not sophisticated enough to filter this out.